It was technically within the rules. The FIA's own regulations permitted it. Mercedes and Red Bull discovered it, applied it, and benefited from it in Australia and later in Japan. Ferrari, observing from the outside, was aware of what was happening and chose to question the FIA instead of copying it. That choice reveals something significant about how Ferrari interpreted the situation. The technique that Mercedes and Red Bull had been using at the end of qualifying laps involved a software mode that bypassed the required power ramp down, allowing full MGUK deployment for a few extra seconds. It has now been banned, not because it broke the rules, but because the FIA determined that using an emergency shutdown function for performance gain was not its intended purpose. The performance advantage was genuine. Sources indicate a boost of around 50 to 100 kilowatts for a brief period at the end of a qualifying lap, translating into fractions of a second at certain circuits and potentially more at tracks with longer final straights. Miami features one of those longer straights, making this detail particularly relevant. The ban comes just 10 days before the Miami Grand Prix. Let's examine exactly what this method involved, who used it, who raised concerns, and what it means heading into Miami. The 2026 regulations include a required ramp down for MGUK deployment at the end of straights. As a car uses up its battery energy approaching the timing line, power must decrease at a rate of 50 kilowatts per second. This rule is designed to prevent a sudden and dangerous drop in speed when the battery is fully depleted, something already seen in the first 3 races of 2026. While the ramp down rule is there for safety, there is also a valid exception. If the MGUK must be shut down for technical reasons, such as an emergency, a detected issue, or to protect components, the ramp down rule no longer applies, and the system can be cut immediately. Engineers at Mercedes and Red Bull realized that this emergency shutdown mode, internally referred to as the continuous offset function, could be triggered at the end of a qualifying lap without introducing the usual risks of cutting 350 kilowatts of electrical power mid-lap. The logic is straightforward. Once the car crosses the timing line, the MGUK is no longer needed. Drivers are slowing down and returning to the pits, so performance on the cool-down lap is irrelevant. By activating the shutdown at precisely that moment, they could maintain maximum MGUK deployment right up to the line without the enforced ramp down, gaining performance without any real drawback. The 60-second lockout imposed by the FIA as a safeguard didn't matter, since the qualifying lap was already complete. It was a clever and legal solution, offering roughly 50 to 100 kilowatts of extra deployment for a short duration. This approach was already noticeable in Australia to teams paying close attention. Rivals quickly identified that Mercedes and Red Bull were using the MGUK shutdown at the end of qualifying laps from the opening race weekend of 2026. However, in Japan, the unintended side effects became clear. Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen both encountered situations during practice at Suzuka where their cars lacked sufficient power to navigate the Esses properly, a fast, flowing section that relies heavily on continuous electrical deployment. The 60-second MGUK lockout, designed to discourage misuse, ended up doing exactly that by preventing power availability on the following lap. Williams driver Alex Albon even came to a complete stop during practice due to complications stemming from the same issue affecting a customer team. At that stage, what began as a competitive edge had turned into a reliability and safety concern. Multiple cars were either slowing dramatically through high-speed sections or stopping on track during practice at one of Formula One's most demanding circuits. This prompted the FIA to begin discussions with Mercedes in Japan. Following those talks, Mercedes opted to disable the system at Suzuka. This was partly because the short run from the final chicane to the timing line limited the benefit there, and partly because the issue had become too visible to ignore. By then, Ferrari had already initiated its own discussions with the FIA. The result of those exchanges is the ban that has now been issued. Ferrari's reaction to the situation is perhaps the most telling aspect from a strategic standpoint. When teams noticed the MGUK shutdown being used in Australia, the typical response in Formula One would have been to replicate it immediately. If something is legal, teams usually exploit it. Ferrari chose not to. Instead, Ferrari approached the FIA to seek clarification, not on the legality of the method, which they accepted, but on whether its safety implications were acceptable based on what they had observed. This reflects a calculated decision. Ferrari recognized that duplicating the method would not yield the same level of benefit for them. The gain from the MGUK shutdown depends heavily on the distance between the final corner and the timing line. At tracks with shorter distances, like Shanghai or Suzuka's final chicane, the advantage is minimal. At circuits with longer runs, such as Baku, Monza, and Miami, the benefit becomes more significant. Ferrari concluded that the risks outweighed the reward at tracks where the gain was small, and that at tracks where the gain was larger, regulatory intervention was likely before those races took place. That prediction proved accurate. The ban has been introduced ahead of Miami, the first race where the method would have delivered its maximum benefit. Ferrari effectively avoided needing to copy it, anticipating it would be outlawed before it truly mattered. This suggests either strong intelligence or an excellent understanding of how the FIA would react, likely both. Importantly, the FIA has not removed the MGUK emergency shutdown function entirely. It remains in place for its intended use. Genuine technical emergencies where shutting down the system is necessary to prevent damage. What has changed is that teams can no longer use it routinely at the end of qualifying laps for performance gains. Updated technical directives clarify that the FIA will closely monitor data from qualifying sessions. Any use of the shutdown without a valid emergency justification will not be accepted. Effectively, this reinstates the universal application of the ramp-down rule from Miami onward. All teams must reduce MGUK deployment at the mandated rate of 50 kilowatts per second as they approach the timing line. This levels the playing field again in this specific area. The competitive impact is uneven. Mercedes and Red Bull lose an advantage they had developed. Ferrari, McLaren, and others gain nothing new but are not disadvantaged either, as they were not using the method. At Miami, this translates to a slight reduction in the qualifying edge previously held by Mercedes-powered teams over Ferrari and McLaren customers. The exact impact remains uncertain. While the gain was only fractions of a second at most circuits, Miami's long straight suggests the effect would have been more pronounced there. Whether this change will noticeably alter the lap time gap between Mercedes and Ferrari will become clear during qualifying on May 2nd. Looking beyond this specific case, a broader trend is emerging regarding Mercedes' 2026 advantage. The compression ratio loophole, which provided a structural power benefit, is being addressed, with fixes coming into effect in Monaco. The MGUK shutdown method, which offered a qualifying edge, has now been eliminated before Miami. Meanwhile, proposed changes to superclipping and energy harvesting parameters discussed in FIA meetings could further reduce the benefits of Mercedes' advanced energy management systems.